Good morning, students. So welcome back to our class. So the last two chapters we discussed regarding this digestion as well as this respiration, right? So in the digestion process we said this nutrients will be digested, right? So the food will be digested and it is produced into the nutrients. And in the respiratory system we said the exchange of gases, oxygen and the carbon dioxide takes place, right? So this oxygen has to reach to the cells. There is a target region or site. So meanwhile the digestion also, the digestive nutrients has to reach to the cells. Okay. So here the third system is going to help for this process to transport these nutrients and this oxygen to the cells, where this so many metabolic processes is going on inside the cells, right? So that transporting system only our next chapter, right? So anyhow, today we have to discuss regarding this unit 3, chapter 7, that is body fluid and circulation. So we are going to learn about this fluids which is present inside of the human body and about the circulatory system, right? Its structure and its function and various processes about this circulatory system. Fine? Okay. And the circulatory system may vary from animal to animal. For example, in small organisms, right, sponges and the coelentrates, there is no special circulatory system is there, right? So here they said the oxygen transportation or gas transportation is going on through this, body surface by simple diffusion method. And the water will move into the body. Along with this oxygen exchange or transportation also takes place. So that method is known as by simple diffusion process. By simple diffusion means already we discussed about it, from higher concentration to the lower concentration it is to transfer by simple method, right? But in higher organisms, the special circulatory system, well developed and the complicated circulatory system is present to supply the blood. So that is known as bulk flow, right? That is known as bulk flow, or we could say this as a connective transport. Okay, connective transport. So simple diffusion also one of the transportation method only, and bulk flow also one of the transportation method only. But the bulk flow method is very fast, very fast than the simple diffusion method. So one of this example, just for example they said, and for in the human body to transport milliliter of the blood, 1 milliliter of the blood from heart to feet, again it is circulating from the feet to the heart. Okay, for this one circulation it takes 60 seconds for one bulk flow. For this bulk flow, the overall time it takes, it is only 60 seconds. Do you get me? But if the same process happens by simple diffusion method, it may take 60 years, they said. 60 years. So this is a very slow process, but bulk flow is very faster than this diffusion method. Do you understand? So various method will be followed for this circulation process. Okay, now let us look into this. What are the major functions of this circulatory system? Okay. So functions of circulatory system. So what are the functions will be done by this circulatory system, right? The first one is coordination of physiological processes. Coordination of physiological processes. How it is coordinating the physiological process? Because physiological processes will be carried out by this hormones and the enzymes. So these will be transported with the help of the circulatory system. So that's why they said it is coordinating the physiological process. Fine. And it is helping for the defense of the body. It is protecting the body from these pathogens or diseases, since it is transporting this immune cells. So whatever transportation is there in the body, it is transported with the help of this blood only, right? So that's why this immune cells also will be transported by the blood. So it is defense of this body. right? And the third one we could say it is maintained in this homeostasis of this body. Homeostasis means constant condition, the constant temperature, constant pH level, constant pressure. So whatever is there in the body, it should be in a constant level. So that is known as homeostasis. So this blood circulatory system is helping for this homeostasis of this body, right? And of course the next one, movement of gases, hormones, nutrients, waste and heat. So this is useful to transport the gases that already we have said, and it is useful to transport the hormones, nutrients, even the waste also will be transported by this circulatory system. Fine. Okay. Next, blood flow to the heart and the brain. So everything, even everywhere the blood, even from this tip of this toe also, the blood circulation or blood has been taken by the circulatory system. So it is supplying the blood to the heart and brain also, the major organs. Heart is supplying the blood to the heart, right? And it is supplying blood to the brain. So if there is any lack of this oxygen in the brain, any lack of this oxygen in the brain for some more time, it may leads to oxygen demand increase. It is leading to fainting, right? If there is less supply of oxygen to the brain, it leads to fainting. So that is known as vasovagal syncope. Vasovagal syncope means because of this lack of oxygen supply to the brain, the persons may faint down. So that is known as vasovagal syncope, right? So overall, the process of this, the functions of the circulatory system is given as one flow chart here, like one schematic representation or diagrammatic representation in our text. Let us look into that. Okay, look at this figure. So the heart is in the center. So here the heart. Okay. So heart is the pumping organ. So it is a central region because it is one of this very important thing, because every blood from the body is going towards this heart, and the blood is supplied throughout the body from the heart. Do you get me? So from the heart only the blood will be supplied throughout the body, throughout the organs, every organs, and the blood from every organ also coming towards this heart. So that's why it is one of the pumping organs. It's a central area. Do you get me? And so let us see wherever it is supplied. So this is heart. From the heart, listen. So here lungs is there. So from the lungs, the oxygen is received by the lungs. So this lungs is coming to from the lungs, it is coming to the heart, right? And from the heart again it is taken towards this tissues. So it is taken towards the tissues, right? And from the tissue is producing the carbon dioxide. So the tissue is coming from here to again to the heart only. Am I right? From the tissue it is again coming to the heart, and from the heart again it is going towards his lungs. Then the carbon dioxide will be eliminated. So that is about the tissue piece regarding the lungs. Fine. And let us go for the next actually. From the heart, and what are the regions is receiving this oxygenated blood? So that we could say gastrointestinal tract. GI means gastrointestinal, digestive tract. Then this blood is coming towards his kidney, right? And so listen, so digestive tract also the blood will be supplied. Everywhere the blood will be supplied without doubt, right? So the digestive tract, the blood will be supplied, and so from the digestive tract, nutrients will be produced. Meanwhile, solid waste, feces also will be produced. So this nutrients is again going to the heart through the liver. It don't directly go to the heart, it will go towards this liver, and from the liver it is transported towards the heart. Okay, then we can come to this kidney. So the kidney is receiving the deoxygenated blood, right? So where from this not deoxygenated blood, I mean this blood with this urea, so to be eliminated. So that blood will be coming towards this kidney there, and the kidney is going to eliminate this urea waste, right? So listen, so but when it comes to the kidney is doing the filtration function in the sense whatever substance is necessary to the body, it will be reabsorbed by the body and it is sent to the heart again, right? But this liquid waste, it will be in the form of urea or urine will be eliminated out. Okay, and so in this way whatever circulation, so throughout the body the blood will be supplied by the heart, and from every regions of this body, and the blood is going towards his heart. So that is a circulatory system, we could say. Understand? So now let us see about this what are the body fluid is present in the body and its components, everything. Fine. So body fluids, listen. So there is two types of this body fluid is there. One is intracellular fluid, another one is extracellular fluid. Intracellular fluid as well as extracellular fluid. Fine. Intracellular fluid means this fluid which is present inside the cell. So they could say it is cytoplasm which is present inside this cell. It is fluid. So it's an intracellular fluid, right? Extracellular fluid means the fluid which is present outside the cell. So otherwise we could say it is present in the tissues. So that is known as interstitial fluid or tissue fluid. Right? Interstitial fluid or tissue fluid because it is outside the cell. So the group of cell is forming tissue. So hence it is known as tissue fluid. Right? So outside the cell what will be there? Plasma will be there and lymph will be there. So these are all we could say it's an extracellular fluid. And they said how this tissue fluid will be formed. So how the tissue fluid will be formed, right? So when the blood is going inside these arterioles means the branches of artery, right? When the blood is going towards these arterioles to the capillaries, when it is moving from arterioles to the capillary is a minute blood vessel, right? Network blood vessels. This hydrostatic pressure, the pressure will increase. Hydrostatic pressure increase. So because arteriole size is bigger than the capillary. So when from this arteriole to capillary, when blood flows, the pressure will increase. Do you get me? Because the size is less. Okay. So because of this pressure, the blood or the fluid will ooze out from this capillaries or arterioles to the tissues outside. So such a way this interstitial fluid or tissue fluid will be collected. Do you get me? And so listen, that is a method here they said. So let us see. This is the arteriole. Just imagine this is an arteriole, right? It's a blood vessel. So the fluid is present inside, right? The fluid is present inside. So here the water potential is low. But hydrostatic pressure is high. Water potential is low, hydrostatic pressure is high. So the movement will be from the higher concentration to the lower concentration, right? Always. So that's why since the pressure is high here, so this fluid is coming out from the arteriole to the tissues, right? Okay. Then this is regarding the arteriole, but from the veins from the tissue, the blood will go towards the veins. But arteriole, from the arteriole, the blood fluid come towards the tissue, right? But vein will collect from the tissue. So fluid will move from the tissue to vein. Do you get me? So what will happen here? Venous capillaries, water potential is high, but the hydrostatic pressure is low. Here it is low, right? Here it is low. That's why from the tissue to the venous capillary, the fluid will move. Do you understand? So this is the way the movement of this fluid will happen inside this blood vessel and the tissues. Fine? Okay. So let us discuss about this next fluid. It is composition of blood. So the blood is the fluid, the major fluid which is present inside the body. So let us look into this composition of blood, right? Okay. So the blood consists of plasma as well as formed elements. Right? So the plasma constitutes 55% in the overall blood components, but formed elements are 45%, right? So plasma we know, right? And the formed elements are nothing else, it is just blood cells is the formed elements. So hope you know about the blood cells. There is 3 types of blood cell is there: RBC, WBC as well as platelets. So these 3 are formed elements, right? And RBC single type is there, but WBC there is 5 types of WBC is there, right? That is neutrophils, eosinophils, basophils, agranulocytes as well as monocytes, right? So agranulocyte, here we could write it as a lymphocyte, lymphocyte and monocyte, right? So this is the 5 types of WBC cells, and last one is platelets. Okay, so let us discuss regarding this each one now. So first we can go for the plasma, then we can come to the formed elements, right? So let us look into this plasma now. So plasma. So the plasma composition is, it constitutes a water 80 to 92 percentage. 80 to 92 percentage it is water is there. Mainly it consists of water. Plasma mainly consists of even 80 to 92 percentage it is water. Okay. And it consists of plasma proteins. Plasma protein. The protein which is present inside the plasma is 4 types. That is albumin, globulin, prothrombin, fibrinogen. So this is the 4 protein which is present in the plasma. So don't forget albumin, globulin, prothrombin and fibrinogen. Okay. Albumin function, it is useful to maintain the osmotic pressure of this body. Okay. And globulin is useful to transport of iron, hormone, lipid, and it is helping for immune function also, right? Globulin. Okay, so immune function means it is immunity. It is related to immunity, right? So this is the function of this globulin. And prothrombin and fibrinogen is helping for blood clotting. Okay, so this is regarding these plasma proteins. Then it consists of inorganic components. That is chlorides, carbonides, phosphates of potassium, sodium and calcium as well as magnesium. These are all these inorganic components. Fine. Then organic constituents are urea, amino acids, glucose, fat and vitamin. So these are all organic constituents. Fine. Then it consists of course we know dissolved gases. Oxygen and the carbon dioxide will be dissolved in this plasma during transportation, that we have discussed in the previous class. So it consists of dissolved gases also. Okay. But so now we set up these components of this plasma, but it will not be constant at every time. It will not be constant at every time. There will be this oscillation, up and down will be there. So during certain situations, so for example, we could say immediately after the meal, after we take the food, the glucose level of this hepatic portal vein. Hepatic portal vein is a blood vessel. So the blood which is present inside these blood vessels, glucose level will increase immediately after the meal. Do you understand? Hepatic portal vein is a vein which is connecting or collecting these nutrients from intestine to liver. Do you get me? Hepatic portal vein is collecting the nutrients from intestine to the liver. Okay, that's why after the meal, immediately after the meal, since it is taking the nutrients, of course there will be a lot of glucose. That's why when we check this blood after the meal, immediately the glucose level will be more here. Okay, but after sometimes it will reduce because it will supply to the cells and cells may consume this glucose, so automatically the glucose level will reduce. Okay, then another one example also they said here, it is, and when we consume lot of protein, right, of course we know the protein will be digested as amino acid, right, but amino acid cannot be stored inside the blood for a long time. That's why this liver will convert this amino acid into urea. Liver will convert the amino acid into urea. Don't write. The kidney will convert the amino acid into urea. Liver only used to convert this amino acid into urea. Kidney will eliminate this urea. Understand? So these are all maybe ask us 1 mark questions. So urea. But this urea will be taken towards the kidney for elimination by the blood vessel, that is hepatic vein. Hepatic vein. So since this always carrying this urea from liver to kidney, in this blood vessels always the urea content will be more. Am I right? Urea content will be more. So that's why they said we have said about this all those nutrients, even glucose, urea, which is present in the blood, in the plasma, we said, but it is not in a constant level. Even in certain situations, the certain elevations will be there, up and downs will be there. Do you understand? Okay. And so that's all about this plasma we have to say. And this, the next component is, of course, it is a formed elements, right? Formed elements means it is produced from this, bone marrow. That's why this is a formed elements. So RBC, WBC and the platelets is the formed elements, right? So let us look into the first cell. It is RBC, right? Red blood cells, or it is known as erythrocytes. Let us see about this character of this, or salient feature of this erythrocytes. Okay, first the range of this erythrocytes, this how much it is present inside the body. For adult male, 5 to 5.5 millions of erythrocyte or RBC per -3, which means for cubic millimeter, right? 5 to 5.5 millions per cubic millimeter. For female, 4.5 to 5 million of RBC per -3 means cubic millimeter, right? Then size is 7 micrometer. Shape of this RBC is biconcave shape. And there is no nucleus for RBC. It is important. It is a non-nucleated cell. There is devoid of nucleus means there is absence of nucleus. Not only nucleus, there is no mitochondria, there is no ribosome, and there is no endoplasmic reticulum inside this RBC cells. And notice down what are the things is absent in this RBC cells. Nucleus is absent, mitochondria is absent, ribosome is absent, as well as endoplasmic reticulum also absent, right? But everyone knows very well the color of this RBC is reddish in color because of the presence of this respiratory pigment, that is hemoglobin. About this hemoglobin elaborately we have learned in the previous class in the respiration. Are you clear? Okay. Then what is the role of this hemoglobin? It is useful to transport of these gases, oxygen and carbon dioxide. Even carbon dioxide also transported by the hemoglobin. We say 20 to 25% of the carbon dioxide is transported by hemoglobin. Am I right? So this is useful to transport of but oxygen we said it is almost 97% of the oxygen is transported by hemoglobin, especially in the heme part. Am I right? Okay. Then so the respiratory pigment hemoglobin is there to transport of gases. Okay. And its lifespan is 120 days. For 120 days it used to live and it used to die, or it will be aged, or damaged RBC cells will be destroyed in the spleen, right? So it will be destroyed in the spleen. Okay, but when it destroyed the heme, as we said already, hemoglobin consists of heme, iron plus globin is the protein. So the previous chapter we discussed, right? Heme is iron, globin is a protein. So this globin particle only will be destroyed in the spleen, but this heme will be taken again towards this bone marrow. The iron will be taken towards the bone marrow for reuse. Do you get me? Okay. Then, and when we said about this, scuba divers, we said, do you remember? The kidney, not scuba divers, when we move from this above the sea level, this oxygen demand will increase. To adjust this situation, in the previous chapter we discussed, kidney will produce the one substance that is known as erythropoietin. Do you remember? Erythropoietin. This erythropoietin will move towards this bone marrow to induce the production of this RBC cells. Okay. So there we said when the person move above this mountain, when they move above the sea level, oxygen demand will increase because the oxygen is very less. So this RBC cells number will increase, so it will bind with the oxygen. Okay. And so here also the same point only they mentioned, kidney is producing erythropoietin, right? This erythropoietin will go towards this bone marrow to induce this RBC production, right? So that process is known as erythropoiesis. Okay. And then the ratio of this, the ratio of RBC, and so thus we said no round, male how much is there, female how much is there, right? So this ratio will be calculated by this unit, or that is known as hematocrit. So this will be expressed as a hematocrit. Understand the ratio of this RBC? Clear? So look at this. This is the structure of this RBC cell, and this is cross section. This is top view, and it is a circular shape by concave in the sense here it is depressed, right? So depressed, as well as both the sides it will be, concave shape will be there, right? Concave shape will be there. And one more thing we have to say, and already we said it consists of this hemoglobin consists of, RBC consists of hemoglobin, right? And then we said there is no nucleus, there is no mitochondria, there is no ribosome, and there is no endoplasmic reticulum. Okay, since these cellular organelles are absent in these RBC cells, it is leaving lot of space for the hemoglobin to be present inside. Moreover, the biconcave shape of this RBC also is increasing this volume of this RBC cells. That's why overall we could say it is accommodating the lot of hemoglobin for oxygen transportation. Fine. So let us look into the next cell. It is white blood cells. It is otherwise known as leukocytes. Okay. And if you see the saline features of these leukocytes, it is colorless. RBC is red color, but this is WBC is colorless cells. Shape is amoeboid shape. There it is circular in shape. Amoeboid shape means there is no proper shape will be there, right? And the RBC is nucleated cell, non-nucleated cell, but WBC is nucleated cell, right? And RBC consists of hemoglobin, but here absence of this hemoglobin and other pigments. No pigment is there in this WBC cell. Okay, their range we said 5 to 5.5 for male, right? But here normal adult they said 6,000 to 8,000 per cubic millimeter. 6,000 to 8,000 per cubic millimeter. This is basic differences between this RBC and WBC, structure wise we could say. Understand? Okay. Then WBC types. Already we said there is 5 types of WBC cells there, right? So this classification is made based on this presence or absence of this granules which is present in the cytoplasm. Granules. So the cytoplasm consists of certain granules. So as per the presence or absence of the granules, minute particles, right? This WBC is divided into 2 types. That is granulocytes and agranulocytes. So hope you understood. Granulocytes means there will be the granules. Granules are present in the cytoplasm. But in case of this agranulocytes, there is no granules in the cytoplasm. Have you got? Okay. So granulocytes are neutrophils, eosinophils as well as basophils. But agranulocytes are lymphocytes as well as monocytes. Okay. And let us discuss regarding each one. Fine. The first one is neutrophils. So neutrophil is 3 to 4 lobe of nucleus. It is a nucleated cell. So it consists of 3 to 4 lobes of nucleus, and each nucleus is connected with this thin thread-like delicate threads. Delicate threads. Okay. Then its composition we could say 60 to 65% is, if we compare the whole WBC, 60 to 65% it is neutrophil cells. Fine. And it is phagocytic in nature. So phagocytic in nature means it will engulf the pathogens. What do you mean engulf? It will swallow the pathogens which is entering into the body through this any injury or all those things. That's why this neutrophil will clump over this infected regions. So where there is an infection or injury, through that path the pathogens may enter into the body. Okay. So to avoid these pathogens, through the blood circulation, this neutrophil will clump in that area. It will accumulate in that area. So the pathogens which is entering through this injury will be engulfed or swallowed by these neutrophil cells. Do you understand? That kind of this cells only known as a phagocytic cells. Fine. So let us look into the structure. So in neutrophils, and can you watch this nucleus? It is 3 lobe is given, but actually 3 to 4 lobes may be there, and each lobe is connected each other with this thin delicate membrane, right? So this is the structure of these neutrophils, and the cytoplasm consists of granules. Can you watch? Cytoplasm consists of granules. Fine. Next one is eosinophils. Eosinophils, and it is a bilobe nucleus. Here 3 to 4 lobes we said, but in case of this eosinophils, it is bilobe nucleus, and the accumulation is only 2 to 3%. Okay, but it is non-phagocytic type. It don't engulf these pathogens. Okay, but here eosinophils number will increase during any infection or allergic reaction. When any infection occur in the body or when any allergy occur in the body, this eosinophils count will increase. When we check the blood during allergic reaction or infection, the eosinophils count may increase. Understand? So that is about these eosinophils. Fine. So look at the figure for eosinophils, and it is bilobe structure, and this lobe also connected with this delicate thin membrane, right? And the cytoplasm consists of this, granules. Fine. So next one is this basophils. Here this nucleus is large size, but it is divided or not divided. It is constricted as several lobes. But there is no delicate thread is there. It is constricted, but there is no thread between. Okay, and this ranges is 0.5 to 1%, very little amount, 0.5 to 1% when we compare this overall WBC count. Okay, here large cytoplasmic granules. Cytoplasmic granules are larger in size, but the number is less. Since the size is bigger, the number will be less. Do you understand? And here especially this basophil special character is it is secreting the heparin, serotonin and histamines. So this is the 3 substances which is secreted by the basophils. It's a 1 mark question they can ask. Heparin, serotonin, histamines. So these are also involving in this inflammation reactions. So during inflammation reactions, in the sense the same, when there is any injury or in the body, in this pathogens may enter through this path. So at this site these substances will be produced to react with this pathogens to eliminate it. Okay, this is heparin, serotonin and histamines. Okay, so that's why it is involving in this inflammatory reaction. Clear? Let us look at the structure. So this is basophils, right? And this nucleus is very large, but it is constricted. Constricted means it is, certain depressions will be there between this nucleus, but it is not a thread. Okay. And can you watch these granules? It is bigger in size than this eosinophils. Eosinophils is very smaller, but it is very bigger. But here the number is small, but maybe the here number will be less because the size is bigger than this eosinophils. Fine. Okay. So let us go for the next one. It is lymphocytes. It is a granulocytes. Lymphocyte and monocyte is a granulocyte cells, right? Because there is no granules in the cytoplasm. Okay. So lymphocyte is a large round nucleus. It consists of large and round nucleus, but very little cytoplasm. So this actually it is one of this identification for this lymphocyte. It consists of the large nucleus, but the cytoplasmic amount is very less. And the percentage is only 28% is occupied by lymphocytes. And there is 2 types of lymphocyte is there. That is B cell, another one is T cell, or B lymphocyte or T lymphocyte also we could say, right? And the role of these 2 B and T lymphocyte is overall it is involving in the immune function. So B cell is doing one immunity and the T cell is doing another immunity. Actually this about it, regarding this one we can learn detail in another chapters, right? So B cell is going to produce antibodies and T cell is going to involve in the cell mediated immunity. So these 2 systems will involve in this immune function. Understand? Antibody will act against the antigens. Antigen is nothing else, the foreign particles which is entering into the body is known as antigen. So this antibody will react over this one. Okay. Then T cells is a cell mediated immunity, which is it is activated because through some group of the cells. So that is another one area which is involving in this immune function. Okay. And the next one is this monocyte. So monocyte is otherwise it is macrophages, and here this nucleus is in a kidney shape. Nucleus is there, and this nucleus shape is kidney shape, and this percentage level is 1 to 3%. And this is a phagocytic cell. Already we said it is a phagocytic, means it will engulf the pathogens, right? Then this monocytes or macrophages, which is present in as per the region where it is present, the name is given for these macrophages. For example, this macrophages which is present in the central nervous system is known as microglia, right? It is known as microglia. And the macrophages which is present in the sinusoids of liver, when it is present in the liver, it is known as Kupffer cells. Kupffer cells. And when it is present in the pulmonary region, lung region, it is known as alveolar macrophages. So as per the region, the name of these macrophages will be termed, right? So this also they can ask us a 1 mark question. So let us look into the structure. So this is a lymphocyte, and lymphocyte consists of the large nucleus as well as the cell size is also small, large nucleus and the very little cytoplasm. Fine. And this is monocyte, and the cell and the nucleus will be in kidney shape. Have we got? So that's all about this WBC cells. 5 types of WBC cells. Fine. And the last cell is the platelets. It is otherwise known as thrombocytes. Okay. This also produced from the bone marrow, but it is produced by the specialized cell that is known as megakaryocytes. Megakaryocytes, right? It's a specialized cell. It is producing these platelets in the bone marrow, right? And there is no nuclei in these platelets, and the count ranges is 1,50,000 to 3,50,000 per cubic millimeter, right? Then its major function is clotting of blood, for blood clotting. Okay, when the blood is inside the blood vessel, it should not clot. If there is a clot, it may lead to many dangerous diseases such as stroke and heart attack problem may create. But when it comes out of this blood vessel, it must to clot. Unless it clot, the blood flow will be there continuously, so it may lead to even dangerous things. Fine. So that's why when the blood come out of this blood vessel, it has to be clot. Even when we get any injury, the blood goes out from the blood vessel, right? The blood vessels will damage, so the blood will comes out from the blood vessel. If it comes continuously, of course the person may faint and it may lead to dangerous things. But if it clot, the blood flow will be stopped, right? So that things will be carried out by these cells. It is platelets. Have we got? So that's all about this, components of blood. So blood consists of 2 components, mainly plasma as well as formed elements. Plasma, we discussed all about this, formed elements. Blood cells also we discussed, right? And so especially in today's topic, we have to learn about functions of the circulatory system, which is given in this 143, and in this page, and with this flow chart diagrammatic representation they are given. So if you go as a paragraph, you may feel tough to learn, or if you learn as a points which I have given here, it may help you. So you can write it as a points like this. So you can keep the points in mind and you can write it as a sentence. Understand? Then the body fluids which is present inside the body, that is 2 types of body fluid, intracellular fluid as well as extracellular fluid, and how the transportation takes place from this blood vessels to the tissues. Okay. Then of course about this components of the blood, there is 144. So about plasma you can learn. So here also it is given as a paragraph, but if you go as this as a point ways, it is easily, you can pick up these points very easily. So plasma, components of plasma separately you can ask us a 5 mark question, and about the formed elements, blood cells also will be asked as a 5 mark question. Okay, or especially only about this WBC also they can ask. Fine. And within that a lot of one word is there, the percentage level, the range of these each cells, where from it is produced, its nature, its features. That's what I have given as a point here. So if you go as a point, so you can pick up the points very easily. So hope you will cover the portions, and you prepare for this half-yearly examination also. The half-yearly examination commences from this 14th, I think. So please concentrate for this half-yearly examination also, right? So go through this chapter. At least you go through the points which is mentioned here and read this chapters very well and note down the points. Hope you will do it, and we can meet in the next class with the next topic. Fine. Thank you.